Hello everyone. I think I've just scored a few good buys in a second-hand shop that I didn't even know existed on the other side of town until a couple of days ago. They're shock horror. They're not all Beatles, but I will show you the Beatles one first. Um, I've paid just 50 quid for these records. Um, and then I've taken them to my friendly neighbourhood record dealer who has kindly cleaned them for me at a really reasonable price. Um, I think I've got a pretty decent haul here, one of which I know a bit more about than the other two. So let me just set my camera up and I'll show them to you. Right, just because I generally talk about Beatles records here, I will show you the Beatles one first. Because I don't want to waste anyone's time. And then if you're interested in the other two, then be great if you hang around. If not, then you can just press stop, I suppose. So here we've got what I believe to be an eighth stereo UK press of Please Please Me. The sleeve is really quite nice and clean. A little bit of a bash there, but nothing terrible. There's some really faint writing on the back, but really can't complain about the sleeve. It's got a really lovely sepia inner sleeve, which advertises Abbey Road, Let It Be, McCartney, amongst others. So that's a nice little touch, I think. Now let's show you the record. So there are light signs of use on it. It's not an archive copy by any means, but I think it's pretty nice. There's a couple of marks there, you'll notice. Nothing I can do about them. But like I say, I have had it cleaned and I think it's cleaned up rather nicely. And it's a similar scenario with side B there. I think this is the last of the yellow and black label stereo pressings. And you'll notice that it's unusual because it doesn't have the sold in the UK text underneath the Parlophone banner there. So, for those of you that are interested, Matrix YEX 94.1 on side A and 95.1 on side B. So that's pretty nice. Oh, hello. What's up in there? Yeah, that's a nice copy, isn't it? I would be tempted to keep that myself. However, I think I've got a slightly earlier stereo pressing in just as good nick, so I don't really need that one as well. So I'll be putting that on eBay. So that's the one that I know most about. Now here's a couple that I don't really know a whole lot about, and there's a very good reason for this, because I'm not actually the world's biggest Led Zeppelin fan at all. So that might be controversial. I apologise if so. But I picked this up off the shelf, and although I don't know a whole lot about these records, I knew that if it had a plum and red colour label, it was going to be worth a second look. So I've since done a little bit of research. Apparently that grey stripe along the bottom is something to look for. I wouldn't have known that in a month of Sundays. So here is side A. Again, I've had it cleaned and it looks really quite nice. This is the only one of the three that I haven't yet play tested, but I haven't got any frightful worries about it. I think it should play fine. So I've done a little bit of research and I've made some notes. So this apparently is version 6. First pressing version 6. Now, the median selling price on Discogs on this one is 60 quid. And the highest ever selling price on Discogs is 446 quid. So it's quite a valuable one, I think. One thing that I have picked up on is that that's wrong. That how many more times is actually quite a long track. So that's a misprint on the duration of the track there. And that's on the record and on the sleeve. So what do you think? That's nice, isn't it? Again, a couple of light marks, but that's generally a nice copy. And by the looks of the shots on Discogs, that's the original inner sleeve as well. I have made a little repair because this sleeve had actually come apart along there, but that's really no big deal, because of course all you've got to do is glue the seam. That's something and nothing. So that's a nice one, I think. And so that is first press of the first Zeppelin album, I believe, version 6. This is the 4th Zeppelin album, which is untitled, and it's a gatefold sleeve, which many of you might be aware of. The sleeve is nice, although it's got this horrible discoloration from tape down the edge. Other than that, oh, and look at that. I've tried getting that off and that ain't going anywhere. There were similar tags on the other 2 records, but luckily that they're laminated sleeves, so they came off quite easily, but that isn't going anywhere, which is a bit of a shame. But again, not much I can do about it. I'm not going to get too down in the mouth about it, because after all, I only paid 20 quid for it. So I paid 20 quid for the 2 Zeppelin ones and just a tenner for the Beatles one. So here is the inner sleeve. It's actually given way along here. I'll make a little repair with some acid-free archive tape along there. But other than that, and it's got a little bit of writing, but they often do, I think. So at least the inner sleeve is there, and it's in fairly decent condition. So this one I thought was really unusual, and I've done some digging. It would appear to be version 4 of the first press. Again, it's got the plum and red labels on it. I thought it was unusual because it's got these stickers on the labels, which apparently makes it version 4. So it's got produced by Jimmy Page, Super Hype Music. So there was obviously something that needed to be done about, I don't know, production credit or something there. So they've slapped a sticker on, and they've slapped a Led Zeppelin sticker on there, which I really can't quite figure out why that wouldn't just have been printed originally on the label. But there we go. So I've just played that just now, and it sounds pretty decent actually. It's a nice sounding record. So again, hit you with some Discogs stats. The median selling price of this one is £92, and the highest price it's ever sold for is £405, which is big money. So when you consider that I've paid just 20 for that, then I think once again I've had a bit of a win now. What do you think? Yeah, quite happy with that little haul. I've just stuck the Beatles one on eBay, and I'll be doing the same with the Led Zeppelin ones as well. Like I say, I'm not terribly interested in keeping them, and I think I should be able to flip at least a couple of quid on them. They're decent enough copies of fairly rare and collectible albums. So yeah, that's another video done for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please like and subscribe. I love to see my subscriptions slowly going up. It's really good to see. Yeah, feel free to leave a comment. I always reply to any nice comments, and I'm sure I will see you again soon. Okay, for that one, that's pretty much it. Okay, goodbye everybody.